Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Gia Fauzia. I'm from class 1B. My student number 122062051. This is I want to presentation about literature alphabet period. This is a table of content my presentation. Number 1, Renaissance period. Number 2, poetry. Number 3, prose. Number 4, drama. Number 5, William Shakespeare. This is first material is Renaissance period. The Elizabeth period is also known as the Renaissance period in English literature. Therefore, to understand it, we need to get a mere picture of what Renaissance really is. The Renaissance first arose in Italy in the 14th century and then spread north towards the the end of the 15th and 16th centuries. In a broader sense, the Renaissance is the beginning to open the minds of Western Europe people and the gradual disappearance of folk as if to cover this story in medieval times. Jadi, pada periode Elizabeth sepuluh sebagai periode Renaissance dalam kesusastraan Inggris. Oleh karena itu, untuk memahaminya, kita harus benar-benar tahu apa itu gambaran tentang Renaissance. Renaissance mula timbul pada abad ke-14 di Italia dan kemudian menyebar ke utara pada akhir abad ke-15 dan ke-16. Dalam artian luas, Renaissance ialah mulai terbukanya pikiran orang-orang Eropa Barat dan hilangnya secara berangsur-angsur kabut seolah-olah meliputi pikiran itu pada zaman pertengahan. The next, this is the characteristics of the Renaissance people. Number 1, free spirit. Number 2, realistic. Number 3, individual. Number 4, dare to try. Number 5, desire to discover new things. Jadi, ciri-ciri karakteristik orang Renaissance ialah berjiwa bebas, realistis, berindividual, berani mencoba, dan gigih mencoba hal-hal yang baru. During the reign of Queen Elizabeth I, the spirit of the Renaissance, as described above, became increasingly pronounced in England. That period was marked by patriotism, religious tolerance, social serenity, intellectual progress. Jadi pada masa pemerintahan Elizabeth pertama, jiwa serta semangat Renaissance seperti yang dijelaskan sebelumnya semakin terasa di Inggris karena ditandai oleh berpatriotis, toleransi keagamaan, ketenangan kesosialan, dan kemajuan intelektual. The next material is poetry. Figure important poet in Elizabethan period is Edmund Spenser. Edmund Spenser was a famous poet who introduced the Elizabethan age properly. In 1579, he wrote the Shepherd Calendar, a poem in 12 books, one for each month of the year. His greatest work was The Fairy Queen. Though it was planned to be written in 12 books, he could complete 6 of them. It is an allegorical work with 3 themes, a political theme, a moral theme, and fairy tale. More than the story, this work is known for its magic feeling, wonderful music, and verse, and the beauty of sound. It is written in Spenserian stanza of 9 lines with the rhyme schemes A, B, A, B, B, A, B, A, A. Quote from Edmund Spenser. Spencer's masterpiece is the epic poem The Fairy Queen. The first 3 books of The Fairy Queen were published in 1590, and a second set of three books were published in 1596. Spencer originally indicated that he intended the poem to consist of 12 books, so the version of the poem we have today is incomplete. Despite this, it remains one of the longest poems in the English language. It is an allegorical work and can be read as Spencer presumably intended on several levels of allegory, including as praise of Queen Elizabeth I. In a completely allegorical context, the poem follows several canons and an explanation of several virtues. And Spencer, a leader of the author, he said that the entire epic poem is closely enwrapped in allegorical devices and that the aim behind the Fire Queen was to fashion a gentleman or noble person and virtues and gentle discipline. Jadi, penyair yang terkenal pada zaman Elizabeth period ialah Edmund Spenser. Edmund Spenser terkenal karena sajaknya yang berjudul The Fire Queen. Rencana awal Spenser ialah menulis sajak yang terdiri dari 12 bagian buku yang masing-masing mengisahkan suka duka dan kejayaan seorang satria, yang merupakan personifikasi suatu segi sifat yang berjuang melawan kejahatan. Dengan demikian, sajak ini adalah suatu alegori. Spencer hanya menyelesaikan sebagian dari 12 yang direncanakannya. Fiery Queen ditulis dalam bentuk sajak baru yang terkenal bernama Spenserian stanza. Bentuk ini terdiri atas 9 line yang sistem rimanya ialah A, B, A, B, B, A, B, A, A. Dan di sini ialah contoh puisi dari Edmund Spenser. And also this is another quote from Edmund Spenser. The Save Hearts calendar is Edmund Spencer's first major work, which appeared in 1579. It emulates Virgil's eclogue of the 1st century BCE and the eclogue of Mantuan by Baptista Mantuanus, a late medieval, early Renaissance poet. An eclogue is a short pastoral poem that is in the form of a dialogue or soliloquy. Although all the months together form an entire year, each month stands alone as a separate poem. Editions of the late 16th and early 17th centuries include woodcuts for each month poem. And here we have a slight similarity to an emblem book, which combines a number of self-contained picture and text, usually a short vignette, saying or allegory with an accompanying illustration. Dan ini juga salah satu contoh puisi dari Edmund Spenser. Save Heart Calendar ini ialah sajak terdiri atas 12 bait yang masing-masing mewakili 1 bulan sehingga seluruhnya merupakan 1 tahun. Save Heart Calendar ialah suatu sajak pastoral suatu sajak yang menggambarkan kehidupan gembala dalam lingkungan alam bebas yang direalisir. And the next material is prosa. Figure important in prosa ialah John Lyly. John Lyly, who in 1578 published a prose work entitled Epius, The Anatomy of It. The storyline is very simple, namely the love story between Epius and Lucilla, who is not not faithful in love. In addition, this work contains discussion of karmic system, feeling, and reflection on moral. At the time, this work was known for its linguistic style. This style of language was too artificial, full of exaggerated parables, and used long sentences. Epiosm became very popular during this period. Jadi, tokoh utama paling terkenal pada zamannya alfabet prosa ialah John Lilly. John Lilly pada tahun 1578 mempublish sebuah karyanya yang berjudul Epius The Anatomy of It, yang ceritanya begitu sederhana, yang menceritakan tentang kisah cinta antara Epius dan Lucilla. Dalam cerita tersebut, Lucilla ialah wanita yang tidak setia dalam cinta. Selain itu, karya ini mengandung pembahasan tentang tata karma, perasaan, serta renungan tentang moral. Pada zaman itu, karya ini sangat terkenal karena gaya bahasanya yang penuh dengan perumpamaan-perumpamaan atau yang bisa disebut berlebihan dan menggunakan kalimat-kalimat panjang. Dan epiosm ini menjadi sangat populer pada zaman tersebut. The next material is drama. Drama in Elizabeth period experienced the most rapid progress. Drama has reached an artistic level that it is no longer used solely to teach religion or moral, but the main purpose of showing human life. The classical influence has given English playwrights a sense of form, although not all the principles of classical drama have been adhered to. Every drama has a different theme, tragedy, for example, in problem drama or conflict, in a tragedy with a grim and serious theme, while in a comedy drama, everything is bright and happy. Jadi pada drama zamannya Elizabeth period mengalami kemajuan yang sangat pesat. Drama telah mencapai taraf artistik, yaitu tidak lagi semata-mata digunakan untuk menggambarkan tentang keagamaan atau moral, tetapi tujuan utama drama ialah menunjukkan sebuah kehidupan manusia. Pengaruh klasik telah memberikan kepada para penulis drama Inggris dalam suatu kesadaran tentang bentuk, a sense of form. Walaupun tidak seluruh prinsip-prinsip drama klasik ditaati. Dan setiap drama memiliki tema yang berbeda-beda. Misalkan dalam drama permasalahan atau konflik, dalam tragedi drama itu temanya tentang keseriusan atau yang muram. Dan sedangkan dalam drama komedi, segala sesuatunya itu tentang kebahagiaan atau yang bersenang-senang. The next is the structure of drama. First, exposition. Describe the situation at the root of the problem. 2. Complication. The problem becomes more and more complicated. And the last, climax or crisis. There is a determination towards the deterioration of the situation or improvement in the tragedy. Jadi, di struktur-struktur drama itu ada eksposisi, ada komplikasi, dan klimaks. Eksposisi ialah menjelaskan situasi tentang pangkal permasalahan itu apa. Dan selanjutnya ada komplikasi yang tentang permasalahan tersebut menjadi permasalahan yang sangat rumit dan sangat serius keadaannya. Dan terakhir, klimaks. Klimaks ini terjadi penentuan antara ke arah kebaikan atau keburukan tragedi tersebut. Figure drama in Elizabeth period is Christopher Marlowe. Christopher Marlowe was the greatest British playwright before Shakespeare. He is famous for his four drama, all of which are Marlowesque tragedies or tragedies that revolve around a central figure who is torn apart by lust for power. Marlowe concept of a tragic hero, a person who falls for his own imperfect choice, greatly influenced Shakespeare. Christopher Marlowe ialah dramawan dari Inggris. Dramawan Inggris terkenal sebelum Shakespeare. Dia terkenal dengan 4 dramanya. Semua dramanya merupakan tragedi Marlowesque atau tragedi yang berkisar tentang seorang tokoh sentral yang berkoyak-koyak oleh nafsu kekuasaan. Konsep Marlowe mengenai tokoh tragik yaitu seseorang yang terjerumus karena sifat-sifatnya tersendiri yang kurang sempurna sangat mempengaruhi Shakespeare. The four Marlowe drama above are Tamburlaine, Faustus, The Jew of Malta, Edward II. The most famous of them is Faustus, which tells the story of a scientist, Dr. Faustus, who is passionate about mastering all knowledge. He wants to master theology, philosophy, medicine, law, and witchcraft. Dari keempat drama Marlowe ialah Tamburlaine, Faustus, The Jew of Malta, and Edward II. Tetapi drama yang paling sangat terkenal ialah drama tentang Faustus. Drama ini menceritakan tentang seorang ilmuwan, Dr. Faustus, yang sangat menggilai tentang nafsu dengan keilmuan. Dia ingin mau belajar tentang ilmu teologi, filosofi, kesehatan, hukum, dan ilmu sihir. The last material is William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare was an English poet, playwright, and actor, widely known as the greatest English playwright and renowned playwright in the world. He is often referred to as England's national poet and is nicknamed the Poet of Avon. William Shakespeare's long rhymes are Venus and Adonis and the Rape of Lucrece. The drama aspect can be divided into tragedy, comedy, and historical drama. In terms of story, William Shakespeare's work can be divided into historical drama such as Richard III and Henry IV, legendary drama such as Macbeth, and fictional drama such as Romeo and Juliet and the Merchant of Venice. Ditinjau dari drama William Shakespeare dapat dibagi atas drama sejarah. Yang seperti di drama sejarah itu seperti Richard III and Henry IV, dan drama legenda seperti Macbeth, dan drama fiksi seperti Romeo and Juliet dan Merchant of Venice. Okay, this is enough from me. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.